Welcome to the Society for Science Signature Event, a program of the U.S. Department of Education's National STEM Festival. I am Seidel Fetter, Director of Alumni Relations for the Society. I am pleased to introduce Maya Ajmera, President and CEO of Society for Science and Executive Publisher of Science News. Prior to leading the Society, Maya founded and led for 18 years the Global Fund for Children, which has invested nearly $60 million in innovative grassroots organizations, serving vulnerable children and youth from around the world, touching the lives of more than 10 million young people. She is a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and an award-winning children's book author with over 20 titles, and has held several academic appointments at Duke University and Johns Hopkins University. She is also an alumna of the 1985 Science Talent Search. Welcome our moderator, Maya Ajmera.
Thank you, Seidel. Hello and welcome. I am Maya Ajmera, President and CEO of the Society for Science and Executive Publisher of Science News. I'm excited to be here today to hear from three of the young people featured in the National Geographic docuseries Science Fair, the series. The show, which is available on Disney Plus and Hulu, is about students from around the world and the hard work they put into earning a spot at the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair, or Regeneron ISEF. Society founded ISEF, then known as the National Science Fair, in 1950. But let me take a step back and talk to you about the Society for Science. The Society is a 100-year-old institution. We were founded by the publishing magnate E.W. Scripps and zoologist William Ritter. They were worried about disinformation and misinformation in the news. So they started Science News. Today, we are best known for our journalism in the award-winning magazines Science News and Science News Explores, our world-class STEM research competitions, the Regeneron Science Talent Search, and the Thermo Fisher Scientific Junior Innovators Challenge, and our suite of outreach and equity STEM programs that makes sure that every young person can become a scientist or engineer if that is what they want to be when they grow up. I'm truly looking forward to this conversation today, where we will learn what it is like to be the subject of a docuseries and what everyone is up to today. So let me introduce you to the three panelists. Today, we have Memory Bvungo, who is taking a gap year and has been spending her time mentoring young girls across Zimbabwe, advocating against gender-based violence and matters oppressing women in STEM. She's also a tutor. Our second panelist is Endrick Garcia-Torres, is a sophomore at the Inter-American University of Puerto Rico Metropolitan Campus. And lastly, we have Erin Gaydar, is a sophomore at the University of South Florida studying marine biology. So welcome to each of you. And I'll start with my first question. What was the process like of being on Science Fair, the series? Was it fun? Was it stressful? Erin, I'm going to ask you first.
Okay, yeah. So being in the docuseries was definitely a mix of emotions for sure. Obviously exciting, nerve-wracking, thrilling, a whole mix. It was really enjoyable, and I would say it was a unique experience for sure.
How about you, Memory?
I share the same sentiments with Erin. It was really a mix of emotions. Very unique, something I hadn't experienced before, completely out of my world. And yeah, it was very, very exciting, but also a big responsibility.
And Endrick?
Yeah, me personally, I just found it really fun getting to know the people from the crew and getting to know their families, and also eating with them because, everybody that goes home just gets treats like family, and people that you connect with all the time and are filming you all the time. You just connect and bond and say it some different way. But it was a good experience.
So let me ask you something. Was it hard to make the decision to be on the series? I mean, did you have to really think about it, or was it an automatic yes, or did you have to go through a process of getting permission from your family and parents and teachers? Memory, let me start with you on that.
For me, it was really a no-brainer. I just hopped onto the opportunity because my main role here, my main purpose, as I've come to understand it in Zimbabwe, is to try and advocate for a lot of girls to join STEM and STEM activities because it's still very much deemed daunting or not for the female child here in Zimbabwe. So the opportunity to be on the docuseries would be an opportunity to depict that a Zimbabwean girl can make it, or a girl in Africa can make it in STEM. So it was a no-brainer.
That's wonderful. How about you, Erin?
For me, it was also kind of a no-brainer, but a little different situation. A lot of like people that had filmed in the show had gotten picked up along the way, but I had actually been casted for the show in October of 2021 before I
Oh,
had even started my experiment, which was actually crazy. I was one of the original casted for the show without knowing my project or anything. So of course I agreed in the beginning, but I didn't even have my project like completed yet. So I didn't even know if it was going to be successful at all, or if I was going to perform well even at the regional level. Because in Florida, it's a very competitive state in science fair, so you have to go through multiple fairs to even think about getting to the state fair, and then from the state fair you have to get best in fair to go to ISEF. So it was very competitive to get there. And honestly, for me, it was just kind of following the process because I didn't even know if I was going to get in the show or not because I hadn't received my bid until halfway through filming. So they were kind of just betting on me the whole time. So it was
wow.
very stressful.
Wow. How about you, Andre?
Yeah, for me, it was also a no-brainer. Just getting the opportunity to share my people's culture and their ideas. It was like a no hit or miss situation. Like I needed to take this opportunity in order to share the ideas that my island has. And it was like free motion for my island.
Um, how did your experiences at ISEF and on camera influence you? Was being at ISEF and being filmed different than being filmed in 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 Zimbabwe or Puerto Rico or Florida? I'm curious. Erin.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I would say at ISEF, honestly, that whole experience was kind of just like flashed by me. Obviously, that was the first time I was able to attend ISEF and winning a bid. So
Oh,
the whole thing was just super surreal for me. So I was kind of going through the ISEF experience itself while also going through the National Geographic experience all at the same time. So I would say that it was definitely really like unique and crazy, but it also added to the element of ISEF because obviously ISEF is a huge successful thing to achieve in itself, and then also being featured during that journey was just an extra bonus to the whole experience.
how about you, Memory?
I had been to ISEF before in 2018, and it was just a different world, a new world of opportunities. It was so inspiring seeing the other students from different countries. So, but it was different in 2022 when I was part of the National Geographic docuseries because there was a different sense of responsibility, like I mentioned before, to represent my country, represent my people, and also paint a picture to the women here in Zimbabwe that are endeavoring in STEM. So it was a great sense of responsibility that came with being on camera. But ISEF on its own is still so surreal, and it's like a whole different planet for me being at ISEF.
Endrick?
Yeah, for me, I also like share the same experience that Gary had because it was like a mix between like feeling nervous and anxious, but ISO was so unique, and even for my first time, it was just a unique and majestic experience for me because just to know other people, know their culture, and possibly to this day, I even made friends from other parts of the world that I still talk to this day. So it was all those like anxious feelings and all those responsibilities that were like on a daily basis. They all were they all flew away because it was such a good time that I even forgot about that.
So in some ways you forgot about the camera, right? Like you guys were so into being at ISEF and really like focusing on your project and your judges and hopefully thinking about, okay, will I place or not? But I would get the sense though, what was it like for the others in your delegation seeing you getting filmed? And, you know, were they, were they making funny faces to you when you're getting filmed, or were they, I'm curious of what that experience feels like, right? When you're with a delegation, but it's focused on you. Erin.
Yeah, so how Florida does it was you travel by county because we have so many representatives at ISEF that year. So I went with my whole county, and we actually had Nat Geo come with us, like when I was packing, and then they came with us to the plane. They rode the bus with us, like all those things like that. They came to the hotel every morning, so they were definitely around the film crew, and they definitely reacted to that. But I would say they were really supportive. My hometown county, Brevard. We're the Space Coast, so we're very into science and STEM, and they were just super supportive. I mean, all the kids that I went to ISEF with from my county, we're all still very close to this day. And we talk about the show and like the filming experience sometimes. And of course, like there were definitely some silly things that would go on every single day, but it was just an amazing experience. And everyone was so supportive, which I feel like is very common in the science fair culture. It's just a very supportive group of people that really want the best for each other, which is why I love science fair so much.
How about you, Endrick?
Yeah, it was a cool experience. People were like looking at me like, "Wow, is he like famous or something?" I'm like, "No, I'm just a normal kid with my partner doing this project." But when I explained the situation to them, they were like really supportive at the same time because just getting the opportunity to like show my island's culture and their ideas when it comes to like the area of science, it was just an amazing experience, and all the support was 100% real and authentic.
And Memory.
Definitely, yes. It was a bit odd for the other delegates, but I think it was very, very exciting for them because there were a lot of parts where we were recorded together. And it was so beautiful to showcase our bond that we had formed. We have a boot camp in Zimbabwe where we prepare for ISEF. So we had been sort of a little family, and it was just so cool to be a little family on camera and experience the new experience together.
So to the three of you and Memory, I'll start with you. Did you like it? Did you like Science Fair, the series? Were you happy with it?
Absolutely loved it. It was so inspiring, really emotional. I didn't expect to cry, but I did cry throughout the process because it was nostalgic. It was a flash of ISEF again, and the whole experience going to ISEF, participating and winning. Yeah, it was very, very emotional.
So you like the film. You like the film. Erin, how about you? Were you happy with it? Did you like it? Do you like seeing
Absolutely.
yourself on camera?
Well, that's, I mean, I feel like everyone kind of like cringes at themselves when they watch themselves,
Of course.
but the show captured like one of the best years of my life on TV that other people can see. And I feel like that's really amazing because all of the emotions I put into that show, I mean, I was crying on the show, I was laughing on the show, like it's all in there. So I love the show. I think it highlights the amazing parts of Science Fair.
And how about you, Endrick?
Yeah, me too. It was an amazing experience, and sometimes you look at yourself in TV or like when you record something, like you're like cringe at yourself because you're like, "Wow, did I really just say that? Oh my God, let's redo it again." But it was a cool experience, and I did like the film. And just having the opportunity to like relive that memory anytime just by turning on the TV or my phone. For me and my family and my partners and my coach and my other people around the world to see it, it was just amazing.
That's great. Well, I'm gonna switch over now a little bit to what you're up to right now, but I'm gonna ask you a couple of quick questions. Fire questions. What's your favorite color, Erin?
Pink.
Memory.
Blue.
Favorite color, blue? Endry?
Black.
What's your favorite color? Black. Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Memory.
Influence people's minds.
Influence people's minds. Erin.
Change the time.
Change the time. Endrick.
Time stop.
Time stop. Okay. And just another quick question. Do you like pancakes or waffles? Erin.
Waffles.
Memory.
Waffles.
Endrick.
Waffles.
Wow. Very good. Okay. So let's move over to what are you currently up to now? Right? You you've gone through this experience. Are you still continuing the research? Are you in school? Erin, tell us a little bit about what you're up to right now.
Yeah, so currently, at the exact moment, I'm at the Florida State Science and Engineering Fair volunteering and helping the director with the whole process of it. Besides that, I also attend the University of South Florida as a marine biology major, where I plan to continue studying life science and hopefully work with marine mammals in the future and also provide scientific opportunities for youth.
How about you, Endrick?
Yeah, right now I'm a sophomore in the Intermetropolitan University. I'm studying international business, and in the meantime, also helping a director from the Ashford Hospital in Puerto Rico to like do related stuff to business and expand their like business throughout the world because it's related to like international business and work with different accountants just to learn at the same time and expand my knowledge in order for like when I get my own business and my own career, I know what to do and play the cards right.
That's great. And Memory?
I am currently taking a gap year. I will be attending school this fall, but I am currently still working on my project. I'm trying to get rid of a structural component, lignin, in the reed plant that I was investigating, and I'm looking at bacteria that can possibly do that. I'm also mentoring students that are taking part in ISEF this year from Zimbabwe, and students from my previous school, my high school. I started as the science club in 2021, but I'm still endorsing it and making sure that it's up and running and moving, and it will still be moving even after I leave.
And building on Memories sort of respond, answer on she's still pursuing her research. Erin, are you still continuing the research project you had at ISEF, or are you doing something else around research at this point?
Yeah, so right now I am still continuing the research that I did at ISEF, as well as a bunch of other projects as well in college. I'm continuing research in all different fields, but I do have connections to a lot of people that I made when competing my ISEF project. So I'm actually being things like guest speaking and things like that. I'm still connecting with the society and my local area about these things and hopefully being able to get that out there as well.
Tell us about your project quickly. What's the research that you're continuing to do, the way Memory said it, just in a sentence or two?
Yeah, so my ISEF project was basically trying to abolish algae levels in international bodies of water because it creates a whole stream of issues to water quality internationally.
Wonderful. And Drake, are you continuing the research project that you and your partner did together?
Um, Currently we're not continuing it because every step that we did to like build a device and build a prototype are like pretty clear. The only part that we're missing right now is like the patent, but we're trying to figure that out because here in Puerto Rico, a patent is like pretty expensive. Like minimum price is around like $4,000. So it's like pretty hefty
Wow.
price. But yeah, we're just figuring out that patent right now.
So, and Drake, where do you see yourself in the next decade? If you push out 10 years from now, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Likely having my own business. It could be related to like, I really want to get into real estate. but just a business that it could reach in like an international level and learning different languages in order to like communicate with other business. Right now, I'm learning Mandarin, and it's pretty hard because I'm all alone. So
Wow.
like self tutoring my own Mandarin classes, but it's pretty fun at the same time because you just get to know people's language and how they sound and their culture. So it's pretty cool.
That's great. Memory, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully, I would have started the fuel company here in Zimbabwe that does produce biofuels from reed plants, which is my project currently. And a long term goal of mine is also to start an organization called the Kunekwegawa Foundation, which is a Shona proverb, my native language, which means distance is not a barrier. One will go to any lengths for their passions, and it's meant to provide educational opportunities for girls in remote areas here in Zimbabwe.
Wow. And Erin,
Yeah, so hopefully in about 10 years, I'll have a full education in sciences from colleges, and then also hopefully be working with marine species. I'm hoping to work with like sharks and stingrays on biolabs, either offshore or onshore. And then I also, besides continuing my work in marine biology, I would also like to get connected and stay connected to the youth and to my hometown science fair because I think that science fair is so important to the youth. And I think that it should be encouraged more because the experience I had at ISEF, I want tons of other kids to be able to have because it was so inspiring. So I want to be able to also encourage that as well in my future.
so, there's so many challenges that is happening in our world today, right? What are you most worried about, in terms of the challenges that we're facing? Memory?
I think young people not taking accountability for the problems. A lot of people exempt themselves from being part of the solution because of their age. I think it's a thing here in Zimbabwe. I've noticed that a lot of younger students exempt themselves from being or aiding a problem that is going on in their community. It's more of a leave it for someone qualified or someone who can get the job done, whereas you can be a part of the solution and essentially help your community or solve that problem that is going on around you.
Endrick, what do you believe is the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge. I also agree with memory because people need to take accountability. Like in the real world, you need to take your life into your own hands and commit to your own goals. Everything is not gonna be like given to your hand and just peaches and creams around the whole world. So you gotta be like take your own life into action and don't point fingers and just focus on yourself and focus on bettering yourself and bettering those around you.
How about you, Erin?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Memory and Endrick about getting the youth involved. Another thing that I personally would like to work past is stereotypes in STEM and science fair, which I'm from Florida, the United States, where it's very present. There's some stereotypes on the term nerd or science fair, which I actually tried to fight as my part in the documentary. The first scene that you see where I'm introduced into the documentary is actually me doing my hair and makeup and getting my prom dress on, which actually was significant. And I actually wanted that to be the first thing that I was seen doing in the film because I am a girl who cares about clothes, makeup, hair, the dumb blonde stereotype. And when I had won my bid to ISEF, there were kids from my school and other schools saying, "No way she did that." Like she likes Instagram, she does social media, and it's like, no, like you can be anything the way you are. And I feel like that is something that I really wanted to show in the documentary and also just continue showing is working past stereotypes in STEM careers for everyone.
So, Andrik, I'm going to come back to you, Andrik. What are some words of wisdom or inspiration you would give to kids doing science fair right now? This is science fair season, folks. Kids are competing as of right now, even Erin in Florida. But Andrik, what words of guidance or wisdom would you give, or words of inspiration?
Well, my words of inspiration could be just don't give up. No matter how crazy the idea is, no matter how far your goal is, No matter how far your ideas are, just don't give up. People might even call you crazy or like, oh man, he's crazy or she's crazy. She's never going to make that. But when you make it, they're like right behind your back, like, oh, you made it. Just don't give up. Even if you label yourself as a maniac, thinking about those ideas or accomplishing those goals, just focus on yourself. Don't care about what people think. And you know that your goals and your ideas that you're sharing to the world right now and you're trying to make possible, you know that they're going to better the world and you know they're going to better you and those around you.
How about you, Erin?
Well, obviously, we're competing right now in Florida, so I've been coaching all week, actually. I literally just was coaching. So, some things that I've been telling the students is the biggest thing I keep repeating is confidence. You have to have confidence in yourself for someone else to have confidence in you. And I live by that. Even when I was competing in science fair, that's the biggest thing. If you're not confident in yourself, nobody else can be confident in you. Judges, or even future schools, future job opportunities, you need to be confident in what you're doing. And if you love it, then show that, because that is the most important, is passion and confidence.
And Memory.
Just start. A lot of projects don't make it past even the regional fairs because people are too afraid to start or they're daunted by the whole experience of science fairs and competing. But just start and remember your story when you do those projects and carry your story on in your projects.
And just as we close up, are there any other last words? I mean, you guys are famous, right? You're famous. Kids watch this throughout the world, adults, and kids are looking at this, even my own daughter, right? Who's saying, I want to grow up to be like Erin or Memory, or another kid I know saying, I want to grow up to be like Endrick. Are there any other last words you want to give being on science fair, right? What an extraordinary opportunity, but also an incredible responsibility too, right? So what does that responsibility mean to you as we close? Erin.
Yeah, so kind of what you were just saying. I'm actually at the Florida State Science Fair right now, and actually three girls came up to me today in the junior category and said, "We saw you on TV, and you're the reason why we're here." And I almost started crying. I mean, that's crazy to be able to inspire little girls to want to do that. So I would say just 100% be yourself. Do the project in what you love. I loved my category. I loved my topic. And when you love something, you can truly advocate for it. So just do what you love, no matter what it is, and put 110% into it.
Um, Endrick?
Yeah, I share the same idea as Aaron. Just do what you love. Don't give up about it. No matter how many ups and downs you go through, just enjoy the moment. Know that your time will come, and know that the goals that you're set in your life are going to come. You just gotta be patient and be lovable and be always positive throughout the whole experience.
And Memory.
I think that the responsibility means that young girls can look up to someone that sort of looks like them and can relate and can essentially build their story based off of seeing the success of someone who is in their position. For me, it would be the young girls here in Zimbabwe. I know a lot of them don't have the opportunities, and if they do have the opportunity to represent their country and at events like ISEF and global competitions, they usually shy away and back away from such opportunities simply because it's sort of not been done. So the Science Fair docuseries just serves as a testament that it can be done and you can make it and you can do it no matter where you're from.
Okay, well, this has been an extraordinary conversation. I've had so much fun. I want to go back now that I've talked to you each individually. I now want to go back and see Science Fair the series again. And now, when you've met the actors, and now it's like, wow, I actually have talked to that person. To everyone watching today, go, if you haven't seen Science Fair the series, please go watch it. But if you have seen it, go see it again. Now you know these extraordinary individuals. I just, again, want to thank our panelists and our audience for joining us. I've so appreciated the opportunity to learn more about what it's like to be in a documentary and to learn more about what you are up to now. I'd also like to encourage you to help support us in our work to expand scientific literacy and access to STEM education and scientific research by subscribing to Science News or making a donation to the Society for Science, links for which can also be found by following our QR code, I think, which is up now. Thank you so much to Endrick, Erin, and Memory for their time today. It has been a privilege to meet you and to spend time with you. Thank you to our audience, and enjoy the rest of your day.